Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Minister, over the last 10 years or so, there's been close to $9.8, $9.9 billion returned to Treasury Board from Department of National Defense. I am just wondering if those funds are being made available again to the Canadian Armed Forces, or if those funds have been put back into consolidated revenue.
As for as my understanding, it's that's additional funding for the Canadian Armed Forces. But if it's from last 10 years, you have a question related to, I'm going to ask my deputy to. You don't want to know the details?
The short answer is they're available, Mr. Chair, for the department. Those funds continue.
You can table them with this committee after if you have that information. I appreciate it if you could just, if you have them, table them after the committee. I have another question I'd like to ask the minister for. You also said, Minister, earlier that there was $1.1 billion in new spending that was in these estimates here. Is that $1.1 billion as part of that total figure, the $815 million that was returned 2024, 2025?
Can you, this is a technical question. I'm going to ask my deputy to respond.
Well, you said it was, no, it's not. You said it was new spending.
You don't want, look, I have.
You said it was new spending. Is it new spending or?
Certain you want to get the right information, or you just want to, don't want to get an answer? So.
Well, you're the minister of the Treasury Board. You are the stopgap on where money goes up.
We are here, all committee. You have a question. You want to get an answer. So I want to give you a proper answer. So let's clear that what you have a question in mind. So just 30 seconds, please.
So.
Have the information. If you could table it with this committee afterwards, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's the estimates request $476 million for the future fighter jet capability program. Is that earmarked for F-35s, or is that just a general number?
I think it's those are the questions to Minister of Defense and Finance Minister. I think it's I can ask my colleague, or we can get in touch with them.
Minister, it's in the estimates, and it's from the Treasury Board too. So.
35.
Okay,
so, but it's,
so it's F-35.
You want to get the right information. I think it's but it's F-35, but it's specifics. Minister of Defense would be able to answer those.
Okay, is that
so F-35? I just told you.
But is it to upgrade the facilities? Is it as part of the purchase of the F-35? Like what's it for?
It is to. Then again, it's a technical question. You're asking. I think it will be fair. I'm going to ask my deputy to.
The point here is, when you get a request for money, do you personally review it, or do you just get a piece of paper, stamp it, and away it goes?
Team, those submissions, the team work with it, and deputy he's a secretary of the Treasury Board Secretariat, so we both do it. So if it's he's giving that response, it's not that one person does that job. It's a team works on that. So
you read the requests as they come across your desk?
Of course I read.
You read all the requests as they come across your desk?
I try as much as I can.
Okay.
I think I can pretty much absorb a lot.
Okay.
So
good.
Maybe if I could, Mr. Chair.
You know what? In the second hour, you might have a chance. Yeah.
So you don't want to know the answer then?
I want you. I want to know that you know the answer.
So
you're the minister.
I know the answer, but it's a technical. But then let's use this time wisely.
Minister, I'm going to interrupt here and I'll stop the clock. It is the member's time. I will allow him to ask the questions, and we'll go on. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Do you have a request on your desk to send more taxpayers' money to Canada Post?
I am not aware of that. I will check with my department and let you know.
Okay, because these estimates have over $1 billion. I know that was the previous request, but there's reports now suggesting that they are going through that money a lot faster than they were planning to. So I'm just curious, do you have another request from them or not?
I don't have that on my table.
Okay, it's a repayable loan. Are you is the taxpayer going to get that money back from Canada Post? Do you know?
What I can say, I don't have that request on my table at the moment. I'm not aware.
Are you aware of the terms of the deal that Canada Post got to receive the $1 billion?
We can provide that details to a committee.
Are you aware of it, though? The question is, are you aware of it?
It was given prior to me becoming president of the Treasury Board. So I think I was not as president at the Treasury Board when that was given.
Thanks. That's our time. We'll go to Ms. Ross.
Thank you so much. Minister, this is how I understand it, one of your core responsibilities is oversight of government spending, like especially when there's numbers that reach into the billions. Earlier this week, we learned that the Minister of Industry and her deputy minister did not review the Stellantis agreement in its entirety, a deal publicly reported to be around $15 billion. So naturally, we're wondering if anyone actually reviewed the whole thing. So my question to you would be, and I realize you weren't there, but perhaps your colleagues can help. Did the Treasury Board see the full Stellantis contract before approving $15 billion of spending?
Thank you for the question. As my colleague, you said that I was not there, and I can ask if you allow. Then
Please,
I
yeah.
can ask my
I'd like
deputies
it's
to
a
respond
yes
to
or
this
no
one.
if you saw the full contract.
Normally, the way this would work is the department's responsible, they actually review the contracts. They would get authorities from the Treasury Board to go ahead and transact deals, but it would not involve a page-by-page contract review.
Okay, so you didn't see the whole thing either. Okay, so that's an interesting. So the Minister of Industry didn't see it, the Deputy Minister didn't see the whole thing, and the Treasury Board didn't see the whole thing, and you're approving billions. Minister, respectfully, how does a contract of this magnitude clear your department without anyone reviewing it?
As Deputy just stated, that there are delegated authorities to ministers. So there's certain authorities are delegated to ministers. So if those agreement or contracts submission, they are under those authorities, they can go ahead and get into contracts.
Sorry, Mr. I'm just have a question now for Mr. Ali. I'm just wondering, are you concerned that if the industry minister and the deputy minister went to Treasury Board for approval of $15 billion without reviewing the full agreement? Sorry, are you concerned about that? This is my question. Does that seem like a good process?
I think we actually have a robust process and procedure and rules in place, and everyone is adhered to follow those rules. And if the authorities are delegated to ministers, they are bound by those rules and regulations and policies. And I expect everyone follows those rules. And if someone does not follow, there are rules to deal with it.
So, but if I understand it, you are the person who has to worry about, or whoever was at the time, you have to be concerned about spending oversight. It's your job to make sure that they've actually fulfilled those obligations, right? That the spending is justified, the risks are understood, the department has done its homework, taxpayers aren't getting taken for a ride. Is there something we can do to ensure that someone is held accountable for not actually fulfilling those things, if we're not even checking?
There are rules in place for oversight, and there are guidelines. There are authorities delegated to ministers, and if anyone goes beyond that or not follow those guidelines and policies, I think there is a mechanism to deal with it. They should be held accountable.
Do you know, Minister, if anybody has read the entire contract?
Again, that contract was not in my, I was not a president.
Mr. Matthews or Mr. Trudell, no? Has anyone read the entire contract?
There would be people both from the Justice Department and in the department ISET itself that would have reviewed. I will take back to see if there was anyone within TBS that reviewed the entire contract, but the bulk of the work would have been Justice and the line department ISET.
Okay. So my biggest concern, honestly, is if we rubber stamp a bad deal because we don't know who's read what, aren't you supposed to be the ones that say, okay, hold on, does this actually make sense? Isn't that what the Treasury Board is about? Your name is on the bottom of the check.
Thank you. I agree with you that we we're accountable to Canadians. We need to be transparent, and we take every precaution.
You believe that there is a
Is
mechanism to.
our time. I'm sorry.